Surviving Sister Wives contains adult content that may not be suitable for Latter-day Saints or sinners. Listener discretion is advised.
Hello and welcome to Surviving Sister Wives.
I'm Corey.
And I'm Carly. And this is Sister Wives Season 19, Episode 9, Baptism by Fire. And margaritas.
Well, yeah, a little bit. And I'm pretty sure it's called Baptism by Fire. At least that's what...
There were multiple episode names in different locations.
Yeah, they're floating around.
I'm choosing this one. I feel like it fits the episode best.
It does, because I think it was more of a experiential thing for David of what he went through. But the Bible will tell you, it's from Matthew 3:11, I baptize you with water for repentance. But one who is more powerful than I is coming after me. I am not worthy to carry his sandals. He will baptize you with the Holy Spirit and fire.
I'm going to need a translation for so many reasons.
Why? Why is it so hard for you to understand me when I go into my Surviving Sister Wives preacher mode?
No, it's literally the Bible.
Oh, it's just the Bible in general? Well, so this is John the Baptist is paving the way for a little guy you might have heard of named Jesus. That's what's going on.
I have heard of him.
Yes, yeah. So that's what he was doing. He was baptizing people with water and getting people all excited about Jesus. He was like a Jesus hype man. He was the opener for Jesus.
So is Dino Dave Jesus in this situation?
Nope.
No,
I think you're reading into that a little too much, probably.
It's probably the alcohol.
Yeah, maybe.
I don't know. I can't say for sure.
Nobody knows, but the TLC description for this one is Janelle warns Mary on trusting Kody about the Coyote Pass property. Despite only a few months, Christine and David go house shopping. The family gathers for Gwendolyn's bridal shower, and Kody awkwardly meets David.
I've missed them all being together because we didn't get to see Logan's wedding. So this is like one of the first family events where we've seen the majority of them back together again. The band is reunited.
I don't think anybody was expecting that band to get back together, though. It's very much like the Plath family band, where no one was clamoring for that reunion tour.
It was a disaster.
But Carly has been, because we need to get the family together. They need to interact. There needs to be conversations that are had at family functions that may or may not be related to... They don't always need to be a baby shower, a bridal shower.
Yeah, someone doesn't always have to be getting married or giving birth.
Big life events, even though I know that's a lot of people that are in this family, so they're bound to have a bunch of these sorts of interactions, but I feel like we could do with more just vacation getaway things.
The Browns do Hawaii Part 2?
I would love to see what...
Well, it's Part 3 for Robin.
Oh, yeah. Yes, very much so.
She saved that grocery money. She got that second Hawaii trip.
And what dietary restriction would Kody come up with on this one? We'll have to stay tuned and see.
I really did enjoy this episode, but I had some conflicting feelings.
Not like Christine's having, though, right? There's no conflict with that. It's full steam ahead between her and David. Is she just horny?
All the time, 24/7.
Well, I mean, I think we can accept that Christine is horny as a baseline. But is this just she's still buying into purity culture, and so that's why they have to move their relationship forward so fast?
No. What? Do you think that they didn't bone on the second date? I'm sorry, the third date, because the second date they had a classy event to attend.
Right.
They saw a play.
Very impressive.
All right, I've got an episode for you guys. We can get into this.
Let's hear it.
The Merissance shows signs of coming to an end as Janelle prepares for a Brown family property dispute. Christine gets a tattoo to spite Kody. David unexpectedly meets the exes.
Nobody could have seen that coming because the RSVP was a no, and then overnight it changes. Things change in an instant on this show.
I have a lot of questions, a lot of questions and thoughts. But first, we're skipping the announcements.
Well, yeah, so...
They're going to be at the end.
Shifting it around a little bit here. Normally, this is where the announcements would be. We're going to jump right in on the recap, so stay tuned for the announcements at the end of the episode.
We start out strong because Janelle is heading over to Mary's house, and they're going to be sitting down to have a conversation that probably should have happened a while ago, considering they're months out from the property money being due.
Yeah, this is one of those, well, I don't know. I think Mary's usual solution is just to have a couple LuLaRoe sales. She jumps on Facebook and then she makes whatever quota she needs.
She's like, how much do you need, Janelle?
Yeah. Well, you let me know. And as long as I can just spin up a couple of live sales, I think we'll be okay.
I'm not that worried about it.
Mary, in her confessionals, though, she is flourishing. She looks great. Losing Kody.
Okay, I thought about it. It's because she's wearing a bright color. She
I
is
think
usually
she's cut Kody out of her life to an extent as well.
Okay, that helps a little, but she's usually in an autumn color palette for those of you who know of the 16 color seasons. And this one was a bit brighter.
I think
it was more of a spring.
Maybe that's what we'll do on our live. We're going to have you do the
color analysis.
The color analysis for everyone in the cast, and we'll see what everybody says. But I think it's just
spoiler.
A lot of BS.
I'm not good at it.
I feel like it just changes every single photo that you take, but that's just me.
You're gonna get us 1-star reviews.
That's
for that
my
comment.
Neanderthal take on this.
TikTok would disagree.
Okay. There's a lot of people that are making a good living off of color analysis. I'm pretty sure. Because Carly is keeping them afloat. Single-handedly.
I'm paying them all until I get the answer that I want.
It's not working. But no, she just has the light back in her eyes. It has nothing to do with her clothes. For me, the read that I got.
Well, yeah, she gets to talk about an episode where she fought with Janelle. This is the most alive she's felt in years.
It's like the good old days. It's all coming back. Scary thing, though, that we learn about is that Janelle is coming into this conversation and she's letting us know that Mary doesn't really keep track of finances. For someone who earns so much for so many people, I think Mary should have some more insight into the finances. That's concerning.
I don't think Mary worries herself about too many things.
I don't think she wants to worry about it. And if she knew more than she does, she would absolutely worry about this.
Well, it's that MLM girl boss way of life where the money's just going to come back to you. Okay, but first, we don't even get to see them sit down and have this conversation.
Oh, boy. Okay.
It's the champagne coming back up.
It's not champagne. It's Prosecco.
I'm sorry. It is Prosecco.
Technically.
Thank you. Janelle is still like bahaing down the driveway. It was the brightest blue car I've ever seen.
Baja blasting down the driveway.
If I saw a parking lot full of cars, that would be the one I would have chosen as Janelle's.
I did not clock that as Janelle's vehicle. No, I was like, is this a rental that she just needed something with
I need something with
four-wheel drive to get up Mary's driveway? Did you see the mound of snow? And Mary just had a little path that she had
Mary doesn't leave much.
Plowed through just to get out in an emergency situation.
Well, elsewhere in Flagstaff, Super Dad's got to get the kids to school.
Oh, yeah, they intercut. I forgot because we didn't even have them sit down because Janelle's terrified to sit down in Mary's house. She needs to be ready to bolt.
They didn't go to a neutral space.
That too, but just, I mean, Mary's rental is kind of like a neutral space in Flagstaff now. She's moving stuff out. There's not a lot of furniture left. She's offering up furniture. Janelle, grab anything you like. You can take it with you. I'm trying to get stuff out of here.
Whatever fits in the back of that Toyota. You're taking it with you.
Some more weight to get the tires and you're going to need to maintain that
to keep you
the traction
keep you stable.
Yeah, get you the control that you need and safely get out of here.
I guess maybe Fat Olives was closed due to all the snow.
Could have been, yeah. And Janelle was just at Josephine's with Kody. She doesn't want to go back there for another salad in the attic.
Was that a burger that she had? I couldn't tell the whole time. I was like, is this a burger bun or is it a portobello mushroom?
It's just one big ass mushroom on a plate. And that's all you get.
That would be something that Janelle would eat.
She'd be like, I'm trying to eat healthy. And then by her standards, that's healthy, even though it's probably just like
a portobello mushroom soaked in butter, like burger juices.
And just, it's fried in butter. It's vegetarian.
So back to Kody.
Oh, sorry. Yeah.
It has snowed for, I don't know, 40 days and 40 nights at this point.
Sure. Yeah.
And he's left the truck outside the whole time.
Whoopsie doopsie.
The back of that thing was full of at least 4 feet of snow.
On the top of the vehicle, there was a significant amount of snow. He's talking about 8 foot of snow outside of their house. I think that's a drift. Does Kody know about snow drifts?
I don't know if Kody is reliable when it comes to measurements.
Ah, yes. Yeah, that's probably an accurate statement. But then we have a flash of my biggest fear, which is you are scraping snow with a shovel to get snow off of your truck, and then you're having the kids help, which, inevitably a shovel is going to end up smacking into this truck.
Yeah, why give them shovels?
Dangerous. That's a dangerous move.
Give them mittens. Use your paws.
Yeah, just
wipe the snow off.
Scrape and scrap at it, just stay away from any heavier, blunt object instruments.
Cody's lucky he didn't get hit upside the head.
It's true. Can't say they haven't considered it.
I mean, giving Ari a weapon?
You're arming her for this, and I don't know if that's a fight you're ready to pick.
No, the minute he said, make sure you don't hit the truck, she was like, oh, I'm smashing this thing into the side of this truck. I'm taking a chunk out of it.
Because Robin is filming with her cell phone, I'm assuming, because that's the only reason why Kody didn't scream at Ari immediately. But he didn't stop and give her the look of absolute horror.
He did behave himself very well. But like you said, this was one of those, let's go out and film us having a fun family time because this is what we want to portray ourselves as on TV. I'm not here for the propaganda.
This is, season 1 Kody move.
Yeah. I did enjoy, though, the ultimate karma of it where Ari does scratch the truck.
Well, I guess this is why they fixed the heated driveway after this winter.
I mean, we can tell it's definitely the reason why they ended up spending the money that they did to get that driveway.
You're going to save on car repairs.
I will say, though, that's not going to help the snow from accumulating in the trunk bed. The bed of your trunk, the bed of the...
You're on your own for this one. You got to work through it. Where are you going?
The bed of the truck.
The bed of the truck.
I got there.
Yeah. You got it.
At one point, Ari's like, I don't know, sliding down into a ravine of some sort.
Beat that.
It was very, very like, her hair seemed very long under that hat.
Under the hat? You got the sense that Ari's hair was very long?
It was hanging out from underneath the hat. And I thought, wow, her hair must be pretty long if we're seeing it. I'm just so used to her having a much shorter cut.
Is it just curled? Is she just getting curly girled where it looks way shorter? It's all those tight curls.
Maybe Cody's been doing her hair.
Could have been.
For years.
Well, because we know that he did Truly's hair to match his at Aspen's wedding. So maybe that started something for him where he really wanted to make sure that Ari has a matching hairstyle for him. It seems to be a very big deal for him because him and Mary went to the same barber for a while, too.
He likes to twin with the women around him.
Yeah, I guess so. It's a way to connect. Well, 2 women who are not connecting, it's going to be Janelle and Mary back at Mary's house because, yes, they eventually do take a seat. They're going to talk about this.
And we are so quickly reminded of how much these two hate talking to one another.
It's nothing personal. It's just I don't care for her as an individual human being. This is not a social call, as Mary describes it. This is all business.
All business. Well, let's talk about something personal to start off. So Mary's left Kody and Janelle has left Kody.
We're learning a lot very quickly to get up to speed because I think, it's just been over a year probably since they got together and spoke to each other. I think that was their assessment when they first
Okay, but I'm kind of calling bullshit on this.
Because they talked at the wedding.
Because wasn't the engagement party in February? And Mary made their public announcement in January, where they posted to Instagram and all the other places where they still have social profiles. I made that sound really... That was a boomer thing to say.
Was it?
I don't know. They're socials.
They're social medias.
They're social medias. So she should be aware. Janelle should be.
Do you think she follows Mary on the social medias?
No, you know what? She's probably blocked.
Probably blocked. She probably didn't follow a rule on one of the LuLaRoe lives, and she was immediately banned.
She didn't add her bin number.
Shadow banned due to lack of bin number and not reading the sticky post.
We're here for female empowerment. So Janelle is so excited that Mary has finally taken the step that she has stopped being the ever-present loyal dog that she's been in the past, and she's pursuing her own life.
Not a dog, but loyal like a dog. Very much same path, train of thought as Kody when he was coming up with the Fidelis.
That's got to be hard for Mary.
At least Janelle didn't bring that up face to face. That was in Janelle's confessional interview, so at least Mary didn't have to hear it again directly from somebody else.
Better than the sacred cow. I'd rather be a dog than a cow, I think.
Cows are kind of like just big dogs that just eat grass.
Okay, you keep thinking that.
What? They're comfy cozy. They're like big, huge stuffed animals.
Okay, I would want to be a Highland cow.
Yeah, that could be fun. Someone brush my beard like that. That would be nice.
Well, now that the niceties are out of the way.
Let's reminisce on how could we have kept this lie going a little bit longer.
Hold on. Did Janelle learn a lesson from her sit down with Kody? Where she was like, okay, we have to talk about the state of our relationships first before I get into the business thing, because I did it backwards the last time and that didn't go well.
Maybe she did this conversation with Mary and she's like, yeah, I'm not looking to do the niceties anymore. I don't need to go take a trip down memory lane. Honestly, we should check and see. Was Janelle wearing the same thing? Did she come straight from Josephine's? Is that why they weren't able to get a table there? She's like,
I already ate.
She's knocking this out.
I'm not looking to have another meal.
I went and talked to Kody. I'm coming to talk to Mary. That's it. Back to back. Get it out of the way.
Unfortunately, she's got some pretty bad news to share with Mare, which is that the property. You remember that? You remember when we bought Coyote Pass? You remember how we got
in quotations
a loan? Remember the loan, girl?
Bought. Yeah, but did we kind of buy it? It's seller finance, so it's kind of a, yeah. Cody's not going to pay this thing off, and we're going to lose the whole thing. And Mary's starting to find out how bad of a deal this is because, I thought we already paid off a few of these. Yeah, well, that's the problem. If we don't pay off the last one or the last amount of it, we could lose it all.
Okay, this makes me think if the deal wasn't that they would lose all of the property if they didn't pay the one last piece off, I feel like they would have just not paid the last piece off and lost it.
Yeah. Absolutely, because then that would have been the one that probably had Mary and Janelle's name on it.
He was like, I don't need that one.
Just happens
I don't need that one anymore. I don't have a use for it.
It's in the middle. It separates of the four lots. It's like middle right. Because they can't get anything rezoned until they pay all of it off. So that's the whole other issue that we're having here. But Janelle keeps talking to Kody about it. Kody keeps making it sound like there's no money. But Janelle does the books, the bookkeeping, not the finances, but the bookkeeping. She knows from running the numbers. We had enough money. We have had enough money to pay this off.
Ain't mathin'.
Yeah. We got some Kody math going on. It's not working.
And this is where Mary lost me. And the Merissance came to an end. Because she starts gaslighting Janelle over this entire situation. There's just no way that Kody would do something stupid like that. He's looking out for our best interest.
I'm not worried about it.
And the way she responded, where she was like, you really think that he would do that? It was very dismissive.
Yeah, I mean, I do think he
totally disposed of 3 wives. So why not dispose of a piece of property that would be very valuable to us?
But I think it would be silly. See, this is the problem, is where Janelle's trying to get Mary into the know here, because what she's trying to say is, hey, you don't have claim to just your third of that one plot of land. You have claim to the whole kit and caboodle here. And
a quarter of it.
Counted as a quarter of the value of the entire property. That is what your numbers should be. But I don't think Mary even has a grasp on where they're at in terms of finances and numbers for that to make sense.
So why didn't they just put all of their names on all of the pieces of property?
That's too complicated. That's too straightforward.
Well, that's why they're in the position that they're in now, because say they lose all of it, or Kody decides to somehow screw them out of other parts of the property. Now Mary's going to get a piece of a piece.
Yeah, you have no legal claim to that.
To the other pieces.
Yeah, so if you have been contributing to the paying off of all of those other plots of land, your name isn't on them.
No, and I think she also doesn't understand, because she thought Janelle's name was only on the plot with her and Kody. Janelle has a whole nother plot with Kody. She's got 2 that her name is on.
There's a lot of things that Mary isn't grasping about this, because she has no idea what the situation is at all.
No.
And so Janelle's trying to do her a favor and maybe float the idea too of, hey, would you like to maybe perhaps lawyer up with me? And then we can kind of make sure that we get what we need here. I think she was feeling it out.
She didn't even say it.
She didn't say it.
She knew. She was like, I would better withhold the information about the attorney because
she got the read.
She's not having it. And at this point, she's getting worried. Like, is she just going to turn around and go tattle on me to Kody?
This might be a bigger problem here. So I'm not going to say what I'm actually intending to do.
She played the cards close to the chest.
To be fair, she tipped her hand to show Mary and then didn't like the reaction and then proceeded to cover up the rest. But was that enough, though? Is Mary going to be able to turn on Janelle? Is that what we have to worry about now? I don't think Mary cares enough to go tell Kody that, oh, Janelle came and talked to him and is worried that you're not going to pay off the land and we could lose the whole thing. That's something that Janelle has talked to Kody directly about, too.
I don't know. I think that Kody and Mary, I think throughout the entire time that they were living plural marriage with everybody, that I feel like they were the ones who would team up against each other or against other people. As much as they despise each other, I think they work together when it's in their best favor. When it's in their favor.
There you go. I think it's just... I don't think there is a benefit, though, for Mary to go tell Kody now. Because it used to be she was trying to win favor back. She's trying to get in Cody's good graces. She's trying to have any semblance of him attempting to try to have a relationship with her. And now that's out the window. So what does she have?
I would say when she said Kody is most likely just getting creative with his finances, he's going to rob Peter to pay Paul, just like everyone else does.
She knows that game.
I think she should be worried. Is she Peter or is she Paul?
Yeah, are you getting robbed? Are you being robbed or are you being paid? Well, I don't think we're getting paid, so I think we're probably being robbed.
I'm just saying Mary does not have a good track record as far as her reading other people's character. I'm not going to trust her on this one.
I feel like maybe Mary had a turn when Janelle was telling her, I want you to get what you deserve out of this land. And usually that's said to Mary in history in a very negative way. I hope you get what you deserve.
Oh, no, she's remembering every time Janelle has wronged her. Just like when she was definitely the one who led the revolt against giving Mary money to buy the B&B. I have a feeling there was a serious finance discussion between Kody and Janelle that resulted in him suddenly not having the money to help her.
I think it's just absolutely wild that Mary was under the assumption that Janelle is in charge of the finances based on Cody's description of how things are run to Mary. Her understanding was that, oh, Janelle handles the finances. And Janelle's like, whoa.
That is financial abuse.
This is what I'm saying.
To not know you're all contributing to the family pot and then you don't even know who's in control of the money. There's not an overseer like you thought that there was, and you were wrongly led to believe that it was the person who, in this family, they seem to think Janelle is the most responsible with money. And now they're finding out that's not the person who was holding the purse strings all along.
Yeah, it's ended up, you trace that line back, and it's over at Robin and Cody's house.
It's all in a Vera Bradley bag somewhere in Robin's home. You want to go house hunting?
Not really, but I mean, house hunting without my consent is what's happening here.
Yeah, the repetition of let's go look at 3 things and make a decision is weighing on me. And I know that we're going to get this again because they're going to go dress shopping. And it loses the excitement when we already know which wedding venue they chose. We already know which house they chose. We already know which dress she chose. So why even make us watch it?
They didn't even choose a house on this either. It
was the worst episode of House Hunters ever.
Narrowing things down and finding what they like. But they do know that they're buying. Christine's not renting anymore. She's buying in 100% on monogamy.
With a man who she's only known for a month and a half.
Getting close to 2 months at this point.
That's scary.
Well, for David...
That's scary to buy a house with somebody and tie your finances together like that without really having a lot of time with that person.
David seems to think that they're taking things slow because his parents...
I wouldn't call a 30-year mortgage slow.
His parents met and were engaged within 7 days.
You know who this reminded me of? Brittany from Real Housewives of Salt Lake City.
Very much so, yeah. happily married for, 50-something years after that, too. Engaged in a week.
Seems like a Utah thing.
Yeah, because you know like 5 people. And so...
By default, you've known them a while.
Yeah, and then this is the most suitable person for you if you're looking for a spouse. And then we do get confirmation. Sleepovers have been occurring. So Christine can't be that horny, or is she saving it for the big one?
No, the sleepovers are occurring on a regular basis. It's not even a sleepover. It's a walk of shame that happens in the morning that she describes.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Like she doesn't even know. What sink does David use? I don't stick around long enough to know.
I don't stick it in long enough to know. Who's going to know? Truly Wooly, that's who's going to know.
Truly Wooly. Julia Gulia.
Oh, man. Yeah, she knows which side of the bed David prefers to sleep on, in air quotes, sleep on. But
that's
she doesn't
not going to help you buy a house.
No.
That'll help you buy a bed.
Furniture is different than purchasing a home, I think.
House number 1. It's got a really big driveway. That is something that they're interested in because they got to fill this thing up with cars because all the kids are going to come visit them. Because somehow Christine has been able to achieve the dream that Kody set out to build, which is the kids coming back to visit him. But they're all going to Christine and David's house.
Yeah, because Christine's the one who manages all these relationships with the kids. And so that was normally Kody's connection to the children was through the moms. And now that's all gone.
They had me fooled. I thought this was the house that she was in earlier because why did all houses in Utah look so similar?
Oh, with the corner pantry in the kitchen there that she was very excited about?
Every kitchen have white cabinets. They all have that pantry. This one does not have double ovens. And so that is... a big mark against it because Christine needs it for cooking with Christine. Cooking with just Christine. And David. I guess that's why they did away with it.
And McKelty and Aspen. She's had a couple different guests on there, too. We need more closet space as well in the primary bedroom because we're sharing now. Christine's not used to this. There's this partnership, this decision-making process that happens between 2 people in the relationship. And while David doesn't have a lot of clothes, he does have a lot of hoodies.
Does he run a tech company? Why does he have so many hoodies?
Are we sure that David's not from the Midwest?
Maybe that's what it is.
A lot of hoodies?
I thought one of the complaints, though, about Kody was that he had a lot of shit. Wasn't that one of the burdens of being married to him was that he had so many of everything, and at some points, all of his stuff would end up at your house?
Was it a lot of shit or that he's full of shit?
It's both.
Probably more so that one. Yeah, I think it was at one point he was buying multiples of stuff and then it all just collects at, you guessed it, Robin's house. And then he is panicking, running around, pretending to look for stuff in other people's houses. Either that or it would end up at Mary's because he would probably take his laundry over there.
It's funny you said that because I was just thinking that when he came back to each wife's house, he probably brought an entire basket of laundry that needed to be done.
Some of it was Robin's, just mixed in there too. They just happened to be doing that. If you're going to be throwing that stuff in there, might as well.
She separated everything by color.
How many different piles would Robin have for sorting laundry?
No, it's just all florals.
You can't wash it on warm. The colors will run.
All her tops are made of rayon. She can't let them go to other houses to get washed.
Do not let an iron touch them. They would just melt instantaneously.
It's very flammable at her home.
Cook right on there.
For some reason, Kody thinks that he had a lot of involvement in not only building each of the houses, but picking out all the furnishings and building a home, nesting with each other, which I thought was an interesting word.
Yeah, because Robin builds the nest, right?
Yeah, isn't her Instagram handle Robin Brown's Nest?
No, her handle is Love Gives You Wings.
No, that was on Twitter.
Oh, Twitter. Okay, yeah, sorry.
Yeah, and then on Pinterest, she's Roby Brow 5.
Roby Brow 5. Yeah. Roby Brow.
But wasn't she pregnant with baby Saul at that point? Am I imagining that? Am I crossing timelines? Yeah, she had baby Saul.
He was born when they were building the houses.
Yeah, so they were nesting. Because then she was going to get pregnant with baby Ari as soon as everyone gave her the help she needed with my sister wife's closet so she could get pregnant again.
Yeah, she was holding out on Kody so that way he could encourage the sister wives to help her with her business dream.
The only thing I remember him helping, that's in quotes, Christine with her house was asking if he could use the leftover money that she had to buy Mary's wet bar.
Oh, yeah. Or he was asking her to not do the rock.
The stone.
Yeah, the stone decorations on the front, the exterior of the house, and then just funnel that over to Mary's wet bar and additional bedroom that she did not need.
That's the involvement I recall. Okay, let's get through this because, they hated all the houses, pretty much.
Well, yeah. House number 1 wasn't that great. It's a no. House number 2 was better. And then house number 3, it was, the kitchen was even worse. So that one was right out. Not going to do that one at all.
If they do another house hunter thing, just show us really, really exciting homes. Show me something in the $2 million range. Something Robin and Kody worth. I'd like to look.
With RV parking.
Yeah, the works.
With hobby horse sorts of tracks that you could work with there.
A full stable.
Yeah. But no, instead we get Christine summing up, putting a nice bow on all of this for us about how wonderful monogamy, how solid this future is between her and David, and how they're in their flow. She's all about the flow because their flow, it's faster than some, but it's slower than other people's. And theirs, it's just theirs. That's their flow and they're in it.
Got to find the right house for that flow.
So here's where I get confused in the episode because we have the engagement party that's coming up for Gwen. So they're renting a house and they're doing kind of like a family get together beforehand, just so that Christine can introduce David to more people before the actual engagement party. I think that was mostly the driving force.
I think most of them have nowhere to stay.
Well, that too.
Because they're in Flagstaff and they're not going to stay at Robin and Cody's house.
Right.
And Janelle's apartment is only so big.
Yeah, that's student housing. We're not going to be able to squeeze in there. You have to check in at the lobby. She can only have 3 guests.
You got to give your photo ID.
There's a limited number of guests that she can have in the building with her. They cannot be unsupervised. It gets really complicated.
Unfortunately, we're not going to get to see Janelle meet David, though, even though he's going to meet lots of her kids. This is so weird, isn't it? That now Janelle still hasn't met David, but the kids have?
This is where I'm worried they're going to get engaged before Janelle even meets the dude.
Oh, 1,000%.
That's what's happening. We are building one step at a time, closer and closer to that. What we were worried about was when they were saying that Kody and Robin were not going to be in attendance at the engagement party. So they RSVP'd, no thank you, Daddy.
Everyone's going into this thinking they're not going to see them there.
That was the plan. That was how this was set up to be.
Okay, this is not fair to people to just change what you're doing at the last minute. Some of us need to prepare by having a full therapy session.
Because this is wild. This is very similar then to, if we're comparing it to the mystery family member wedding from October that they didn't want to say was absolutely Logan and Michelle's wedding. He was doing the same thing there, where he was waffling between if he was going to show up or if he wasn't going to go. And, it doesn't seem like anybody wants me there anyway. And it has to be about Robin and Kody.
You know who it's not about? Gwen.
No, it's not.
How did her engagement party just turn into an occasion to film Kody and David meeting each other?
So is that why, did Gwen even invite them? Did they just find out about this and then they're showing up?
Well, it sounded like maybe she struggled with if she wanted to invite them. I can't remember, but this is after she has started her Patreon. And there was a lot of conflict at first because she was saying some shit about Robin at the very beginning of her Patreon existing. And so I'm pretty sure things were not in a good place between them as far as the relationship between Gwen and Kody goes. And of course, Peyton wasn't invited.
Well, yeah, we already knew that.
It's a given.
But who else is David meeting here so far then? It's mostly Gabe and Savannah.
That's all we saw.
That's really it. Yeah, David was telling Gabe how he met Christine online, how she stalked him online.
Because it didn't look like Logan came.
No.
It didn't look like Garrison was there. There were a lot of people missing. But it's just such a relief when your kids meet the right person. Unless they're Tony, I guess.
Yeah.
Unless their person is Tony.
Well, Tony wasn't the right person for Christine.
Oh, for Christine.
Yeah.
The perfect person for McKelty, it seems.
Absolutely the perfect person for McKelty.
We didn't get to see much of Bia this episode, though. That's a little bit of a disappointment.
More than we've seen probably ever, though. Because if we jump to the engagement party itself, because that pre-engagement party evening thing was just kind of like family gathering, meet David, so it's not super awkward first time meeting at the engagement party. They're spending a little bit more time together. Gwen found out that David's old. 59. He's 9 years older than Christine.
She was appalled by that. And
I thought David was trying to hit her with something there at the end too, when he was like, I wasn't too old last night though. I wasn't comfortable with the implication of what David was saying there.
It's never been a problem, the age thing.
Yeah, that wasn't a problem last night for your mom.
I did like that we actually got to learn more about the backstory of them meeting on the dating site.
He's not the tech bro that you alluded to earlier with the number of hoodies because he does not know how to delete a dating profile.
No, yeah. Just like some of those on Seeking Sister Wife. He had multiple dating profiles. Some of them he canceled because didn't find anybody. But, the profile's still active. You never know who might message you. And lo and behold, one of them was Christine. And so he got that credit card out and spent $60 to read that message. This is where I'm starting to think, remember his daughter who was freaking out about how Christine Brown from Sister Wives was talking to him?
She had to tell him who that was and get him excited.
That's definitely why this man spent $60 to read the message.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that he had ill intent.
She wasn't in that conversation, though. He wasn't talking about his daughter interjecting or convincing him to. So that was kind of weird, too, because it's a completely different story than what we get at their wedding when his daughter is telling the story as part of her toast.
I have a feeling it's a long story and they just cut around some things.
I don't know, because we hear it like 3 times just this episode, and he's pretty consistent as far as what was involved and what the process was.
Best $60 he's ever spent. You want to go to the party?
All right, yeah. So now it's the day of the engagement party, and surprise, surprise, Robin and Kody
surprise.
They're showing up. Ready or not, here they come. Kody was describing it, though. Was he saying that he found out that morning that David was going to be there?
I couldn't understand what he was trying to say. Because did they decide to go to the party at the last minute because David was going to be there? Or were they already planning to go and then someone gave them the heads up that David was also going to be at the party?
That was what I needed to know. I needed to know the order of how that information processed for Kody, because yes, I need to know if he decided to go because David was going to be there, or if that was told as another deterrent to try to keep him away.
I think that Robin seemed like she didn't want to be there.
I don't think Robin wanted to go. I think Kody wanted to go, but I don't think Robin wanted to be there.
Well, and what would Cody's motive be?
To
meet David.
Yeah, he's going to snoop on David.
Except he does like a really bad job of it once he gets there, because they spend most of the party, it looks like, on opposite sides of the room.
He wanted to snoop from afar. He wanted to judge based on first impressions and just from watching from afar, from across the room. He didn't want to directly interact with this person.
No, never the twain shall meet.
A lot of fancy words over there.
But I was immediately suspicious again about the property when we find out that Kody picked that phone up and called Mary ASAP to let her know that David was going to be there.
Well, I don't know if he called her and told her ahead of time, because it looks like
they carpooled.
They rode in together. And Mary she was talking about it like a badge of honor that she discovered her worth and walked in front of them as a single woman. Like she
Queen of England rules.
She was unaccompanied at the ball, but she's going on her own terms.
You know what would have been real progress? Maybe show up a half hour before them.
Drive separately?
Yes.
And arrive on your own terms? So I don't know if he just told her in the car on the way over.
Well, the only person who probably was excited to see Mary at that party was Gwen.
Gwen, and then I would say Robin, too. Robin was probably terrified to be there.
I think that's why they stayed in a camp together, even though she doesn't take sides. She's not in the Kody and Robin club. She's not in the ex-wives club. But she was in the Robin and Kody club this time.
For the arrival, at least. But then she's aligning with Gwen immediately. So at least Mary
did make her way around the room.
She had the intention of, I'm here for Gwen. It's Gwen's day. So that seemed more apparent out the gate, where I don't even know. Did we see Kody? Oh, yeah, we did see Kody interact with Gwen and Bea because he was talking shit about matching tattoos. Because, as it turns out...
Hold on. Because he definitely overheard Christine say she was going to get one.
She was vocally, expressing this multiple times that she was going to be getting a matching tattoo with David that day.
This whole party is Robin's nightmare. They're giving people tattoos on tables. People who strongly dislike her are here.
Right next to the food? My bomb-ass lasagna! She didn't bring one. But Kody's afraid of tattoos. He has a tattoo phobia, not a needle phobia. Most people who would be afraid of tattoos
just afraid of getting a tattoo. Just
in general, tattoos on people fucking terrify him. That's enough.
I think that says a lot. But he is considering maybe getting a wedding band tattoo.
Since he's a monogamous man now.
A nice circle, something Mary would hate.
Not approve. Yeah, that's not going to work.
I wish they had convinced all the adults to get a tattoo.
Maybe they could have touched up Mary's brows. They could have gone in there and just done it real quick. No, I'm glad they didn't, though. Maybe we can convince Robin, hey.
I think they're already pretty much tattooed on there.
While we're here, might as well go ahead and knock that out.
Every day she's just adding a new layer of non-washable makeup.
It's not coming off.
Very, very waterproof.
So Gwen and Bea they have the tattoo station set up. They're partaking of tattoos for their engagement party. They're jokingly asking if Kody is going to get one. And of course, he's terrified of that. He's not entertaining that notion. He asked them then, are they getting matching tattoos? Because they're each getting a tattoo. So is it a matching tattoo? And they have to assure him, no, absolutely not.
So cheesy. Who would do that?
Well, that's Cody's assessment. Yeah. Matching tattoos. That'd be really pretty lame.
Cue Christine revealing the titty tat.
We still didn't get to see where David's was, so I'm not ruling out.
You think he unbuttoned that shirt in front of everyone in the party?
Right ass cheek is where I'm guessing. Okay. I think he slipped the belt off and he slid the pants down.
New beginnings.
Just a little bit. New beginnings.
It's a new beginning.
Yeah.
I think they should have played a fun game where everybody chooses a tattoo for a different person.
Ooh, that could be interesting. That's why Janelle was like, I'm not going to make it. Yeah, I'm not going to be there. Sorry. I'll have to celebrate from afar.
The fact that nobody just got the introduction out of the way at the beginning of the party makes this so much more awkward.
Well, Mary was working the room. She ran into David first, and then she got to hear the entire story of how they met online, which she had her own warnings to heed from that as well.
Hey, at least she's got a sense of humor about it now.
You met online?
It took a while to get there.
Be careful.
Be careful with people you meet online. I mean, that is good information. You should heed that warning from Mary because she knows better than anybody.
Yeah, I mean, I think Christine should have taken that to heart.
Yeah, maybe start rethinking the mortgage.
Give it a little bit more time before you get so financially aligned with this person.
And poor Christine, she was trying to yell to the whole room, "This is my boyfriend, David."
So that way it absolves her from a personal introduction. She's just making this known to the room.
It was just a general acknowledgement. Hopefully everybody who's here could hear it. And now if you want to engage, you can come up to us and meet David. But that doesn't work out for them, that plan.
No, that's not working either.
Because McKelty's taking notice. And she hasn't gotten enough screen time yet.
Yeah, so I think what happened here was that Kody was getting distracted. He was just delving right into...
He's not distracted. He's pretending to have other more important things to do.
Right.
All of a sudden, he is the doting grandfather who can't take his eyes off of these baby twins. The Bambinos.
The Banditos.
The Banditos, as they were this episode.
So was he trying to say Banditos in the previous episodes?
I think he was combining words.
Because Bambino, we've established, that's Italian for singular baby. So putting an S at the end makes it sound Spanish, but it's definitely not. So Banditos, though, because they stole his heart, he had a whole backstory, a theme that was going on here.
I think they could have talked him into getting a Banditos tattoo.
Dos Banditos.
Poor Robin, though. She's so uncomfortable. She's just so shy and so pretty. My pretty, pretty, pretty wife who's just so shy.
My gorgeous, monogamous, shy wife.
The wallflower sitting in the corner, hoping that nobody attacks her at this party.
The psychic empath who knows that an introduction is impending at this point.
Mainly because McKelty keeps yelling, David, come over here.
Bring him over.
Bring David over.
Come here.
Mom, get David.
Get over here.
She had to say it at least 3 times.
Because Christine got nervous and then asked for clarification while Kody and Robin were both still distracted with the babies. And then, yes, now's the time. Let's do it. And so then they had to start playing David's entrance music on the Jumbotron. And so that way he could stand up from his seat on the perimeter wall and saunter over. He did have like a very Ric Flair sort of, we were talking about flow from before. I think that was the Nature Boy sort of entrance where we could have got him a very sequined robe with the frills on the underarms and stuff. I think
Some
he could
sunglasses.
I think that would have worked out pretty well for him. That would have fit.
He does seem like he could be a wrestler in another life 30 years ago.
Yeah, because Cody's a wrestler. David would be a wrestler.
Okay.
Yeah, so
I forgot that Kody wrestled.
Right, yeah.
He would be very upset that David took that from him too.
He wouldn't be able to handle that, I don't think.
This begins, I don't know, a strange journey of jealousy of sorts. I'm not exactly sure what's going on with Kody, but McKelty makes sure to rub salt in the wound after we get the little intro because Christine's only known David for like a month and a half, but she's very clearly very in love with him. Cody's waiting for the wedding to happen.
Well, she was trying to build in backstory that does not exist because they've been dating for a month and a half, 2 months was what they were saying at this point. And then she tried to throw in, oh, but I've known him for longer than that. No, you haven't.
Like a month and...
Like 3 days?
A month and a half and 2 days.
Month and 2 hours. Is that what we're going off of? Is that what we're really drilling down to at this point? I've known him way longer than that.
The thing that I think really set Kody off was when McKelty mentioned that David has babysat the twins.
And nobody had to go to the hospital for kidney failure.
That was the part that she left out.
Amazing. He did a great job.
We got a pedicure. We came home. Everyone was fine.
Everyone was thoroughly hydrated. Everyone was feeling great, looking good. Fantastic.
That is kind of a little crazy, isn't it? How little were the babies when they went and got this the pedicure? How old are they? Like 3 months?
Get the pedicure. That would have been something, though.
I bet you there's someone who gives baby pedicures. There's some high-end situation, just like people who are masseuses for dogs.
Well, that's a strict need, I think, for any dogs who are doing very serious.
Someone tell us, are baby pedicures a thing? Or should we like start that? Is that
don't they just file
an industry we could begin?
And then I think they just slap mittens on them for a while so they don't scratch themselves.
Yeah.
So it's just sort of a mitten problem.
I guess they don't really need pedicures and manicures then.
Yeah, it's a mitten problem at first, a mitten solution, and then I think you just file them for a while.
Maybe we just like soak in a little water and lavender, a nice little file, a little buff.
And drink some Pedialyte too, just in case, just to be safe.
This conversation's like drawing a fucking blood from a stone.
Oh man, David is fighting for his life in this conversation. He's got nothing to work with.
No, he's volunteering information about himself because nobody's asking him follow-up questions. He's like, I got how many kids? 10 kids.
I got eight kids.
10 grandkids.
10 grandkids. I raised them.
And Robin's like, cool.
Raise all the kids. I'm used to being around big groups of people. It doesn't make me nervous at all, or terrified on the inside, or sometimes I have some crippling self-doubt though. I do drywall. I had a business since the 80s, 1980. I started that.
Awesome.
And it's basically we're looking at houses.
How much should he divulge?
Should I talk about that?
Probably not.
No, keep that to yourself. I'm very nervous. I feel a little gassy, but
Robin's just giggling away.
And Cody's starting to get jealous. I don't know if he's jealous of the attention that Robin is giving to David or that David is giving to Robin, but either way, he's not comfortable with it.
No, he got really weird about how David was looking at Robin the whole time. Like, she's the only one who was uttering a word. And even at that, they weren't really words.
No, and otherwise, he would be looking at you, and you're reacting like a brick wall. So
and your face is getting red.
There is no reaction. Yeah, he could sense that you're getting very upset right now. And we don't know how you're likely to react from this moving forward if we continue this conversation.
Yeah, I'm feeling really bad for David. Think about you're meeting people who have been on television. At this point, he's probably seen some of the show. And you've heard the things that Christine thinks about all of these people. And now you're having to go meet them in person for the first time. And they're proving to be just as awkward and terrible as she told you they would be.
So let's just talk about the weather. That's the safest thing to talk about.
A lot of snow. A lot of snow lately.
4 foot, 8 foot. It's hard to tell. Again, we're going off of Kody math, Kody measurements here.
Kody didn't ask a lot of questions that you would think a concerned parent who knows that this person is spending a lot of time with their child would be asking.
And I did like that Aspen was calling out that sort of concern because she brings up Truly and how, yes, everyone needs to be comfortable with David because David is going to have a big part of raising Truly.
Is that going to be the spinoff of this show? Raising Truly Wooly.
That could be a show. It could be. But Aspen seems to be the only one who's giving this any thought because, yeah, Truly's name didn't come up in this conversation at all.
No, he didn't ask. So have you met Truly? How does the kid like you? How are things going? Maybe I should talk to her.
He hasn't talked to Truly in a while.
Was she even at the party?
I didn't see her. Maybe she was reading somewhere. Yeah. She might have been tucked in a corner somewhere reading. I can't fault her for that.
Get her in line for a tattoo. I think she's ready. Well, then Christine chooses violence because she puts her head on David's shoulder just mid-conversation.
While Kody is talking about something completely mundane, the height of the snowdrifts at the She-Ra Chateau, Christine is literally bending over backwards to drive Kody insane here. She's breaking her neck to try and rest it down onto David's shoulder. It's completely unnatural. The position that she takes to just casually listen to Kody ramble on.
Never seen another person just rest their head like that on someone else's shoulder in the middle of a conversation, standing fully upright at a party.
I think that's going to be our watch party photo for the post for tomorrow. That should be it. Of just Christine bending her head at a 90-degree angle to get onto David's shoulder.
Get a screenshot of it.
Oh my God.
Well, let's not forget, though, this day was about Gwen.
Kind of, but also as her mother, Christine is reminding us it's kind of about her too, because we got Christine's future that we're really invested in. They're going to be house hunting. There's going to be a proposal, and there is going to be a wedding at some point, and she knows for sure she's not inviting Kody and Robin.
Next episode, Christine and David's relationship continues at light speed when they go off-roading in Moab, and David gets down on one knee. Isabel is in tears over fears of losing her dad. Mary asks Kody to help her move to Parowan.
Tears for Fears, that's another 80s band that they might be into. And I'm surprised if David got down on one knee. Do you think Christine got down on all fours? Or what are we doing here? How does this proposal work? Which direction are we going?
I guess we'll see.
So huge thanks to you, our listeners out there. And if you like what you're hearing, be sure to drop a review for us on Apple Podcast and over on Spotify as well. They're doing reviews now too, in case you missed it.
You can take polls on there also.
There's a bunch of stuff. You can questions, comments. Yeah, there's all kinds of things. And also, if you're liking what you're hearing, you can check out our other podcast, Surviving Reality, where we're recapping Real Housewives of Salt Lake City every Friday.
And I think we're going to be recapping the new season of The Traitors when that starts in January.
Ooh.
So keep that on your radar.
Yeah, that's going to be coming up too.
All right, stick around for a quick second, especially if you are over on the Patreon, because we've got things going on there. This month's Patreon live stream for the Legal Wife tier is going to be happening on Tuesday. That is the 12th at 8 p.m. Eastern time. So make sure you're on the Patreon, that you check there for the post, and There'll be details on how to join that. We've also got holiday merch that's dropping, so be sure to check that out if you haven't been in the merch store for a while. We have a very special piece of artwork.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe you will be owning your own set of mini bikes pretty soon.
Something like that, yes. And we also have our I Kiss Better Than I Cook shirt coming out as well, which just won the poll last week. Very exciting times.
Also, something that's very exciting and brand new, which everyone's been waiting a very long time for Patreon to finally do this. You can gift memberships to other people. So if you are looking for something for the holidays for someone, be sure to check that out because that's something you should be able to do now for any Patreon page that you follow.
If you're looking for the links for any of this stuff that we're mentioning here, it's in the episode description. It's also on our beacons, beacons.ai/survivingpod, so you can go check that out. Pretty much everything you need to find for Surviving Pod. Our YouTube, social media, Patreon, and all the places you can listen.
Stay tuned, share with friends. See you next time.